Did you just put a quotation in your essay, but you don't know if you did it right? Is everyone around you using quotations in their essays, but you don't even know what's going on? Well, don't worry. That's completely normal. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use quotations correctly. Using quotations correctly is an essential part of strong writing. Much of our writing, after all, is part of a conversation with other people who've written before us on the same topic, many of whom have had smart things to say about it. So, you're going to want to use quotations sometimes. Many of the essays that you write for school, such as for the AP Language and Composition exam or your first year writing course in college, also lend themselves to using quotation. Yet, many beginning writers don't know how to use quotations correctly. You might not know how to frame your quotations, you might not know how to explain them correctly, and you might accidentally use them to replace your own ideas in your writing. By the end of this video, you'll know how to use quotations correctly, weaving them seamlessly into your prose, and you'll know how to use them as evidence to support, rather than replace, your ideas. The first step to using quotations correctly is knowing when to use them in the first place. There are two ways that you should be using quotations in your essay. One is evidence to support your ideas. Two is evidence to support your ideas. So basically, only is evidence to support your own ideas. Quotations should not be in your essay to replace your own ideas, and they shouldn't be there just because you feel like they sound a lot better than what you think you could write about your own ideas. That's why you should never be beginning paragraphs with quotations. You should be starting them with your claims, after all. Remember, you should never be using quotations to replace your ideas. Instead, use them as evidence to support them. Here's where you should use quotations. Use them as evidence following the claim in your argument that you need them to support. Use quotations sparingly in cases where the exact wording of your evidence matters, and especially in cases where you plan to analyze that language in your commentary. If the exact language is not important, summarize or paraphrase that evidence instead. The first step to using quotations correctly is selecting them in the first place. When you read a piece of great research, it's only natural that you're going to get really excited. You're going to start highlighting things and underlining things and doing all kinds of things that I don't even know about. It's only natural. Many students then try to build an essay around the quotations, but this is going to be wrong. Instead of doing that, you should first be thinking about your thesis. Then you should be thinking about your claims, and only then should you begin thinking about quotations, because quotations are evidence to support your claims, and you should not be building your essay around evidence. It should be built around your claims. The second step to using quotations effectively is to frame them correctly. You can't just drop a quotation into your essay, after all. If you do that, you're going to create what's called an orphan, because you've taken the quotation away from its original context, just like an orphan is taken away from their original family. And orphans make people sad. Is that how you want people to feel when they read your essay? Do you want them to feel sad? Take this example. In this piece of writing, the author has created an orphan because they have not framed their quotation correctly. How do you feel? Do you feel sad? Instead of creating orphans, frame quotations by creating a quote sandwich. First, introduce your quotation by identifying the author, anything important about them, or where the original source was published, and integrating the quotation into your essay with an interesting verb that characterizes how the quote fits into your argument, as in this example. See how much better this is? Nice. Second, follow your quotation with a paraphrase. Many writers think that a quotation can speak for itself, but the quotation cannot speak for itself. So you need to explain the quotation to your reader. Otherwise, your audience might interpret this quotation differently than you did, and it's not going to make any sense in your argument. This is called a quote sandwich because it has a top piece of bread, the introduction, and a bottom piece of bread, the paraphrase. It's called a sandwich because you need both pieces of bread in order for your reader to be able to eat that quotation. Look at this sandwich. Doesn't it look delicious? But think about what would happen if it were missing bread. It would fall all over the place and make a big mess, and that's how your reader is going to feel if you don't use a sandwich to frame your quotation. Use quote sandwiches. Finally, follow your paraphrase with commentary. Commentary is where you explain how the evidence supports your claim. Just as in the case of when you had to paraphrase, the quotation cannot tell the reader how it supports the claim that you made. Commentary gives you the chance to do this in your own words. It also gives you a chance to help your reader focus not only on the content of your quotation, but on any specific language that you want to integrate into your essay. All right, and that's how you use quotations in your essay. Remember, use quotations effectively by selecting them and using them as evidence to support your claims and ideas rather than to replace them. Remember also to frame your quotations by making a quote sandwich, which is introducing your quotation, followed by a paraphrase, and finally, remember to follow your quotation with a commentary that explains how that evidence supports your claim. Now, you're ready to use quotations effectively in your essay! Thanks for watching Zoomify. Come back for more exciting videos on writing and literature.